Hi there, it's Janice Thompson from JazzleDazzleCrafts.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator and I work in Scotland. So it's time for 3D Thursday again. So this is, I've come on to show you a wee 3D project that I've just come up with. And I'm going to do most of the process on the video today, so it could be a long one. So make sure you make yourself a cuppa, or you gather the materials that you will need and craft along with me. That would be fun. So I have used a few products in this, but what's the point in having all these lovely products and not using them, combining them, what have you. So where it kind of come from is last night I got a parcel from Stampin' Up, and in it was this amazing embossing folder, which you can earn free with every £45, with any £45 or over order that you put in from tomorrow, Friday the 15th of February. This, you will be able to choose this free. And so when I got this, I opened it up and I had to put some cards, so I put some thick Whisper White through it, and wow, the result was, it's just amazing, absolutely. It's one of our dynamic folders, so the embossing is at all sorts of different levels. And when I looked at this, I remembered a friend who had a tea set, a teapot and cups and saucers that had an embossed type pattern on it like this, and it just reminded me of it. And this is how my I don't know about anyone else's creative process, but this is kind of where my head goes. It reminds me of something, teapot, and then I remembered, well, you've got the Tea Together stamp set that I bought from the Spring Summer catalogue. I bought it with a sort of view to doing Mother's Day cards and things, on some 3D maybe for swaps for my trip to On Stage in April. I have swaps to make, and I haven't sort of thought, and I thought, well, maybe this teapot might go somewhere with that, and I can gift people some tea with it. And with the orders I put in recently, I was able to claim this from Celebration, the Tea Time framelits dies. That was with an order of £90 or over. I was able to choose this die set free, and it matches with this Tea Together stamp set that I bought, and I hadn't used either. So from the embossing folder brought me to think about using this set, and I knew that I hadn't a project yet to put out for 3D Thursday, so I thought, right, well, we'll not be making a card with it, we'll make a 3D item. And I thought, how sweet would it be to make a gift bag with the wee teapot on, with the embossing. What do you think? I am in love with this, really like it. So used my Tea Time Stampin' set, and you see this lovely wee stamp here, love is a warm cup of tea. So there you go, so you can share a warm or hot, if you like, cup of tea with a friend. The paper I've used to make the little gift bag is from Tea Room Speciality Designer Series paper, and it's in the annual catalogue. So see, we've got bits from everywhere here: annual catalogue, spring summer catalogue, celebration free items, all working together, and that's what it's all about. These papers are gorgeous now. They're lovely thinner papers that you can really work with. They're really good quality. They're double-sided. So we've got some really gorgeous, kind of some of them are kind of vintagey look about them, in some gorgeous colours. Some are muted and some are bright. So you've got a whole range of bits here. So for this bag, I chose to work with this gorgeous pattern in Coastal Cabana, and I've teamed it up with this lovely, this is from the Spring Summer catalogue, this lovely double-sided ribbon, which is Coastal Cabana and Granny Apple Green, so you can team it up. I think it teams nicely here. But for the video one, I am going to make a little gift bag for you, and I'm going to use this other colourway, the yellow with the flowers. It's got Coastal Cabana on the other side, which is equally pretty, and you could use that. But I'm going for the kind of, because my teapot is kind of vintage with the embossing on it, I'm going for the sort of vintage look flowers, sort of like an etched print here. So that's what this one, the blue, the Coastal Cabana one as well. So I'll pop this aside. For the bag part, what I need, I'll leave the stamping and the decoration for later in the film. So for the box, or bag rather, it's a bag honestly, we need a piece of designer series paper here. Obviously you could make the same thing out of card and you can decorate it in a different way if you wanted. This just gives you the dimensions. So we've got a piece of paper which is 9 inches that way by 6 inches that way. So you will get 2 from a sheet of 12 by 12, plus you'll have a 12 by 3 strip from the side that you can use in another project. So I'm going to bring my scoreboard in here. Whoops. And my tool here. Whoops. And I'm knocking my tripod. And I hope you can see all right, knocking everything over here. Alright, so I'll just try and put this so that you can see where we are. I want you to see the top of the board as well. So let's construct the bag. So I take the widest ball on my ball tool, and along this long edge, or with your paper in the landscape orientation, I want you to score it at 3. Now be gentle because this paper is slightly thinner than our other papers, but make sure you can see your score. 3, 4, 7 and 8. Okay, and then turn it, it matters not which way, but you turn it to, so you're scoring on the short edge, and it's, well, in the portrait orientation really, and you need to score that at 1 and 5. And that's your scoring, so put this big cumbersome board out of the way. It's not big and cumbersome when you're crafting, it's big and cumbersome when I'm trying to fit it underneath the camera. So now I'm just going to fold and burnish all of my folds. Just make sure that your angles are right, at right angles, by just making sure the paper's lining up. And then this fold, and it's really pretty inside as well, this on the other side. All these papers are just gorgeous, whatever side you choose to use. Because this is a thinner paper, I decided to make the top of it a bit reinforced, so when I pull my ribbon through. So I would then I kind of make sure my folds go either direction, and then it won't matter what I decide to do. You could of course choose to have a folded down bit like that so that you're showing both sides of your paper, but on this occasion I'm not, I'm just popping it in under here. Okay, so sharp scissors, These snips are best. So I'm not cutting very much along the top, just cutting this square away. But giving a slight wedge there. So I've cut that bit to a wedge, and on this bit here I'm going to cut this away as well. So I'm going to cut a wedge here as well, and cut that square away as well. So we'll just cut that. And I'm going to cut a very thin wedge at that side too. So that there. Now we're going to do cuts along the bottom but not along the top. Now I find quite easy way to do this is just fold and just cut a thin wedge up to the fold line. Fold that one along. Are you seeing this okay? Because I can't see what you're seeing. It's a hopeless way to film, but never mind. It is what it is. And then again on this one. And a wee thin wedge here at the end as well. It's not very, it's got a bump in it. It'll be fine now. Right. So I'm just going to tidy up all these little bits of paper. That's what you need to end up with. So you've taken away that square and a wee wedge, that square and put a wee wedge. You put wedges in along here, and that is basically how your bag is going to be. Now to make it up, I have run out of almost every glue. The parcel with the glue is arriving tomorrow, so we'll see if we might have enough Tombow left in here. So what I do here is, if I can get, yep I can, a wee dot of Tombow there, a wee dot of Tombow there, a strip along that bit, and just not to the edge there, leave about an inch because I'm going to do a tuck in here, so you need a bit in there. So I'm glue down the top now, like that, like so. As I say, that didn't go all the way along because I need a bit to tuck this flap in. I just think it gives a tidier finish. And what I didn't do was tidy this bit up. So I'm just going to slide a bit. It's just so it doesn't get in the way of my fold when I'm putting it together. Alrighty. So that now folds. Just to make sure. Just make sure your folds are all going to do, because obviously, because that's folded down, it's wanting to go the opposite way to the way I want it to go. So that's that part. So then I'm going to be bringing this over to glue on there, but I'm going to be tucking that in at the same time, like that. So I want my wet glue on here. And I'm using wet glue because it will give me a bit of room to move about. Just pray that the wet glue holds out till the bag's made. I'm hoping you're seeing this all okay. So I'm sliding that in, but if you see it's into the flap, I'm lining that up there, using my fingers to manipulate the paper and make sure it goes right in and right up tight here. And then I'm just going to rub it down. Just manoeuvre my other folds so that this will lie flat. So if it isn't quite as perfect as you'd hope, because I didn't get that just all the way in there before the glue took a hold, so I'm just going to go with it. So there you go, there's the basic bag construction. Now it's just to get the base sorted now. So again, where's my back? The back seam is there. It's neat enough because I can hardly see it. So that's the back seam. So I want some glue on there, and on this side of the bit that's going to come from the front towards the back. Not a lot of glue, just a bit, just so that it'll all hold. So come in like that, and then like that, and then hold it down flat. Use your bone folder or any other tool you have handy just to flatten it all down. And that basically is the basis of your bag. So then I needed holes for the ribbon, and if I can find what I used, right, oh yeah. So I have these little punches. Now they're from the Bloom by Bloom Sweet Itty Bitty Flowers, Itty Bitty Blooms. You can tell me what they're called. 4 little flower punches. They're fantastic. So I actually was going to use my little punch, my little 1/2 inch punch. Is it about 1/2 inch circle punch? I was going to use it to make holes for the ribbon when I knocked over the flower, and I thought, we'll use the flower ones. So what I'm doing is I'm taking this right against the corner of the bag, fitting it in, and then going down as far so that I'll know that I've lined all my holes up, and then this one again right against the corner and as far down until you feel it resist. On both sides do the same thing. And these little flowers that you're punching out, you could use them to decorate something else. I'll just pop them all in a little dish, and then I may or may not use them later on something. Okay, so there's where I've gone with that. Don't worry about the fact that that's folding in, that's not going to. I've basically used my fingers to tease that to fold in a wee bit so that it's going to close okay at the top. And in the bag I am popping in a nice bar of chocolate, I think it's a caramel flavour, and a couple of tea bags. Usually when I'm doing swaps I stick with something a bit Scottish. So this is thistle tea, and it's made in Edinburgh, which is very local to me. It's traditionally blended in Edinburgh anyway. I know that they don't grow the tea in Scotland. Camellias don't grow that particularly well in Scotland, although there will be some. So we've got to that bit, and this time I'm going to use this gorgeous Whisper White ribbon with the metallic edge, and this is in the main catalogue with the silver edge. This is a beautiful ribbon. Just going to cut myself the length of it, not even measured it. I'm just going to use the holes that I made with the flowers, take the ribbon through. My gifts are in, tie this in a knot. And to be honest, with nothing else on it, that is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. But I will show you how I decorated and how I stamped and embossed my teapot and my cup for the other side. So finish this off very similar to the other one. You just be patient. I'm probably going to do this in 2 parts. I'm going to switch off just now, and I'll switch back on in a minute when I get the things ready for decoration. Okay, thanks for your patience in this video. It is a bit longer than usual, but I thought you might like to see the whole process and might want to listen to me telling you about how I arrived at this design. So to get the tea, what I had on here was my wee sentiment teapot on one side and the cup on the other, and I just think that complements what the gift is inside, and I just needed to show off this most gorgeous embossing folder. I'm just in love with it. Anyway, and I'm not going to apologise for being passionate about my Stampin' Up. Do you know the saying, I saw it on Facebook the other day, and it is so true. You know, I do sell the Stampin' Up products, but I don't love them because I sell them. I sell them because I love them, and I want you to share with me. So here we go, just stamped up with my Memento Black, which is available in the main catalogue. You can stamp with that, and then you can colour in with your alcohol markers if you have any. We certainly have some delightful alcohol markers in the catalogue. Then I'm going to ink up the teapot. Find that because this is a smaller pad than our classic pads, I take the ink to the, and it needs to be a bit firmer because the pad is felt and not foam. Probably done this a bit close to the teapot, but we'll work it out. So there's my cup, and I need my sentiment. So I'm just going to do this. Love is a warm cup of tea. Let's use this space up here for this. Cool. Lid on ink before I end up covered. Ink away, don't need that anymore. To put the stamps out of the way, and I will clean them once I've finished the video and put them away nicely. So there we go. So then I need to punch out sorry about that. Interrupted by the post lady. So I was about to punch out my wee sentiment. Just pop that there. Now I've realised that I have stamped on the thinner Whisper White. I don't know how that will cope with this embossing folder, but there's only one way to find out. Where are my dies? Where are my dies? There they are. So I need the die for the teapot and the cup and saucer, but as you see there are dies to cut out the different flowers and leaves that come with this set as well. And the good thing is there's more than one of each, so you can quickly get them passed through the big shot. So I need to make sure this is lined up. I don't have the magnetic platform for my big shot. If you do, then you'll find this all a bit easier to do. But what I'm doing here is lining them up, and I'm just going to use a bit of a washi tape, an old washi tape that I have here. Any old washi tape does. The washi tape comes off your paper fairly easily and doesn't damage, but I'm actually putting it on the other side of the bit I want to keep anyway, so if it rips the paper it's not the end of the world. Now I'm going to have to, this is going to overlap, so I'm going to basically as well cut a bit, that extra bit out the way. So now I'll put my teapot. So if you think I'm making this up as I go along, then that is exactly what I do. Thinking on the hoof. So I'll stay still, don't move. Just having a look to see if the wee white border is even all the way round. Should be fine, and then we'll bring in the big shot. You know, I don't like doing big shot on camera, but sometimes I usually do my cutting out before my films, but sometimes it's nice for you to see the whole process. Now, I don't know how much of this big shot you'll see. I tell you every single time that the big shot is as old as the hills, and in my next parcel I am expecting what am I expecting? New plates for the big shot. I couldn't remember. I have little brain breaks here. Lots of them. Right, so this one is about to split. So if it does split during this, well, do you know that I can't help it. But I think my next parcel is due to arrive tomorrow night with all my glues and new plates for this. And of course, a free celebration item I managed to get when I was buying. I'm short of some ribbon for an invitation project I've been commissioned to do, so I ordered the extra ribbon as well. So yeah, they've got a nice wee stamp set coming as well, I think, with the celebration. So I put my big shot away and I need it for the embossing. So 1 teapot, 1 cup and saucer. Nice like that already. Need the big shot back. And I'll let you see the new, what we call the second issue of Celebration. All the things that were, nearly all the things that were in the first Celebration are still available, but this is the new one, and it's the Country Floral Dynamic Textured Impressions Embossing Folder. That's a lot for your mouth to say, but and I'll show you the other things later. If you would like me to send you out a new Celebrations leaflet, just let me know. I have a few here. If you are already a customer, I will be organising to post one out to you. So the sandwich on my big shot is different for the dynamic embossing folder, and this is falling apart. I don't know whether to treat myself to a new platform or to a completely new big shot. What would you do? Would you wait till this one gives up the ghost, or would you just treat yourself to a nice new one altogether? So the thing is, if I buy a new platform, that's fine, I can do that. But then if I buy a new set, the platform, I'm just going to put that there, bring that down there. I want the rose to show on the teapot really, but I want to just put them through in one pass. So I've got the teapot and the cup and saucer on. I only need 1 plate, so I'm going to use the one that doesn't have the split in it. On my particular machine, that's all I need to do the dynamic folder. You'll have to work out the sandwich on yours. Right, so that's, I'm just bringing it back simply because it's easier when I'm under the camera. I don't want to knock the camera flying when I take it out. Embossing folder out. Big shot on the floor out of the way just now. Right, thankfully that's that out of the way. How lush is that? Oh my gosh, I love it. And I've lost the sentiment part, so I'm not going to be able to decorate this box up. What am I like? Can you see it anywhere? I'm not going to pan out and just let you see how untidy my desk is. What did I do with it? I know. Oh well, it's only one thing for it. It's probably stuck on the big shot or something like that. Okay, so we'll just get a scrap of Whisper White. Here's a bit lying here. This is how we roll, and I'll find it and I'll use it for something else. So where's the stamp? Where's the ink? So what are you crafting with just now? What are you particularly enjoying? Are you crafting with things from the annual catalogue, the spring summer? Are you doing like me, combining them? And what have you bought from Celebration? What have you earned from Celebration? Not bought, earned. It's great getting freebies. Right, I've done it again. And use my little punch here. This is the 1 1/8 scallop punch. You'll find that in the annual catalogue. I love punches. Absolutely love them. They make crafting so easy. Means when you want to do a whole lot of things, punches are the way to go. Okay. Oh, and then it was sitting on the box. Oh no, I'm losing it completely. Right, so then we need some dimensionals. Where are my, a sheet of dimensionals here, and my pokey tool. One on the back of the sentiment. 1, 2. Dimensionals are quite good when you're on a fairly uneven surface. Right, there's 3 on the cup, and we'll put a few on the teapot. 1. And did you notice that our Whisper White, the thinner one, that's kind of mainly for stamping on, embossed beautifully? So there's no need to reach for the thick one, because that one that you stamp on is absolutely fab. So here we go. Just finish this off nicely. So I think I've done this film in about 3 or 4 pieces. So while that is editing, I'm going to have a cup of tea. I'm just going to pop this side this time. Love is a warm cup of tea. And over this side I'm just going to put my cup. And I'm going to try, because I like that wee butterfly, I'm going to pop my cup, I think below that if I can. Yeah, just at an angle. Oh, there's the butterflies dipping in my cup of tea. So there's the back. Looks pretty with the floral holes. And it doesn't matter that the chocolates come up because the ribbon's holding it in place. And there's my teapot. What do you think? I've really enjoyed that project. I was actually thinking of it for my swaps for on stage, but to be honest with you, it's a fairly involved process. It's really beautiful and it's okay for making 1 or 2, but I think it would take me a wee while to stamp, die cut and emboss so many teapots and cups and saucers. But we'll see, unless I can enlist some helpers, which that sometimes happens. I usually get my husband on board doing some of the process when I'm making my swaps. He's okay at turning the handle on the big shot and putting things through if I put them already. Anyway, thank you very much for sticking with me today. I hope you're enjoying the 3D Thursday series. I certainly am. It's taken me way out of my comfort zone because I am mainly a card maker, and I've been learning a Have you noticed the last few 3D Thursdays I've been casing somebody else, so this week I really decided to show you how I managed to make my own design and how I managed my, you know, to come up with something. I haven't shown you how I reached the measurements on this, but maybe on the next project I'll talk you through measuring up what you want to put in, what you want to decorate it with, and making sure you've got the surface area and enough space in your bag to get what you want to enclose in it. Really happy with that. So this actually finishes up, and it's in inches because at the moment my scoreboard is in inches. I am going to be getting the centimetre topper for it, so we may then go back to our centimetre measurements, but for the moment, so this is 3 inches by 4 inches, and it's 1 inch wide or deep, or whatever way you want to say it. And so, you know, you can think of loads of things that could go in there. You could put a few tea lights in there. I just wanted to make it about tea because that was the stamp set and the die set that I wanted to use. Thank you so much. Please subscribe. Please press the bell icon so that you get notified of anything coming out soon. And please share this with any of your crafty friends who you think might want to have a go at making some of these things. Thank you. See you next time.